Greetings, Wambui made it, Wambui here. Today I've been playing with paper. I've been making some paper boxes, and this one is from the silhouette collection that was cut on my silhouette. And some flowers. The flowers were cut on my Cricut, and I've been playing around with these flowers, making paper flowers, and I've really found the process really soothing and quite relaxing to make the flowers. So most of the flowers that I've been making have been out of close to my heart cardstock, and I've been using mostly the Colonial White. Now, Close to My Heart does not make a cardstock that is this color, but this is Close to My Heart cardstock, and what this started out as is this is the Close to My Heart Colonial White cardstock. And I have a whole bunch of that Colonial White cardstock. So to jazz it up, what I did was Close to My Heart makes this spray pen. You can put anything in it that you want to put in there, and then you can just spray anything you want to spray. Well, I used one of mine to put a red colored re-inker in with a little bit of water, and then I took the Colonial cardstock, and what I did was I just kind of sprayed it a little bit and kind of gave it a little bit of color. And it didn't matter that it wasn't even. In fact, it kind of added to it the fact that the spray didn't come out evenly, because when you twirl the flowers, when you cut the flowers, I took the paper like this with the spray on it, and then I put it on my Cricut mat like this, and then I cut out a design that looked like this. And this is the flower design that I've been using mostly. And so the fact that the paper was not even actually added to the design, because you're going to roll that design in on itself, and it just looked more natural at the end. I thought the flowers came out looking a little bit more natural. But that is a way that you can color your paper if you find yourself with white paper, or there's a certain color that you want to have. You can add, but like I said, these are Close to My Heart re-inker colors, but I'm sure that you can find your own re-inker colors or color or paint or what you need to do in order to color your paper, so that you can have a variety of colors and not just that one color. Okay, so I also, besides the flowers that were cut basically from this size right here, this is how they started out, I wanted to make a giant big old flower. So I had a flower that filled up using vellum this time. I used some vellum. The Cricut has these vellum. It has the vellum that comes in these springy colors. So I used this one right here, and instead of making a smaller flower like this, I did one where the flower took up the whole mat, and with vellum, and I ended up with a flower that is this size. I'll show you the process. When the flower is cut, it looks like that. And to tell you the truth, when I used to go to some of the design spaces and places and studios, and I would see this was in the flower department, when I'd be looking for flowers, I'd see this. I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do with that. But sure enough, Close to My Heart makes what they call a quilling tool. And this can be used to make flowers. So when your flower is done, and probably your flower may not be this big, but it's fun if it is, I think. This is vellum. It didn't cut as smoothly as I was hoping it would cut, but again, these flowers are very forgiving, so it's going to be okay. On one end of the flower pattern, that looks like this. Like this. There's that little part right there that's like a circle at one end. Well, that is the end. So you want to start at the other end when you're rolling your flowers. And basically all you're going to do is you're going to take the quilling tool. Now, I don't know, I've never tried it not using the quilling tool, but I'm thinking that is possible. For instance, I have here these skewers. I have these little sticks like this. I wonder if I could do it with this. It would probably, I don't know, it would probably work. Just you'd have to be more careful. But I'm going to try it with this stick. Okay, so we're going to take the stick, and basically what you're going to do is you're going to roll this flower in on itself. Now, you may say, why do I have sticks? Why do I have skewers? Skewers, is that what they call skewers? I have them because I was actually thinking of how I could use them to be the stems for these flowers. So what you're going to do is just basically keep rolling this in on itself and keep it even like that. And you're just going to keep going and keeping it even and letting it roll in on itself until you get to this part right here, which is that little circle is going to be the bottom. So I'm going to go away now while I go ahead and roll this, and it seems to be working pretty good even without the tool. So we'll see what happens when we get to the end. Okay, so I'll see you in a while. I'm coming in to the end now, and right now it looks like a really closed up little bud right there. But what I've been doing is I just kind of like fold that bottom under and then kind of let it loose, doing its own thing, kind of let it twirl to a place where it is comfortable, so to speak, and it kind of opens up, and you see how it's opening up now. And then what I do I've been doing is I've been taking a glue gun, some glue. That's what I'm talking about, the glue. Okay, now we got a lot of hot glue, and we're going to take that little part right there and we're going to push it down over. That's our bottom right there. And you can let it out just a little bit, and that's basically our flower right there. So I haven't used a hot glue gun in a really long time, but so we have a little flower, and I was using some of these flowers, the vellum, to decorate this little box right here. So I don't know if I want to put that giant big old vellum flower there, but that might work too. But the thing with flowers is that once you have decorated, you have made some flowers, you can use them to decorate almost anything and make it look like spring and make it look like fresh and new. So that's it for today. I'm just busy making flowers and experimenting with them. One of the things that I want to try though is I want to try taking the flower where the vellum, it might work a little better. You know what, why don't we just go on and try that right now. What I want to try is embossing, I just threw my flower on the floor, is embossing ink around on the very tips of the flower. I'm going to try that and I'll just see how it works, because I wanted to see what would happen if I took one of the flowers, and I'll take this one, and we dip it into the embossing pad like this. And then after we dip the flower in the embossing pad, we put some embossing powder, a little bit more in here. Okay, and then we're going to dip the flower. Now I don't know which one I was dipping. I think it was this one. I'm going to dip the flower in the embossing. And now we have the gold. And then what we're going to do is take the heat gun and just And now, look what we have. Isn't that beautiful? I think it's a flower with gold trimming. I'm trying to find the lens. I can't. That's a flower with gold trimming. And so that's one of the things that you can do to even make your flowers even more special. Well, until next time, happy spring and peace. Have fun with your flowers. I think I'm gonna